welcome to the Welbeck, as they say, Lucy.
Yeah, welcome to the Welbeck.
So you've kind of hit the headlines today about the tourism levy.
Yeah.
I thought we'd just do a video to give a little bit more background, so
Yeah.
to speak, and we can talk about where you are, what you do, because these posts on LinkedIn and what
Quite
have you.
faceless.
And we can just give the viewer a bit of an insight into what you're about. So just give us a summary of the Welbeck and the history of you.
So I came into the business about 33 years ago. My parents have taken over my grandparents, who bought the hotel in 1978. So we've been in the business for nearly 50 years now, really. And it's changed a lot in that time, but my granddad was still having the same arguments as I'm kind of having now. But
Bit of frustration.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been in some challenging times, hasn't it, since
Massively.
the 70s and the decline, and then I think there's been a surge and a rise, hasn't there?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Mum and Dad took it on when it was really booming, and it kind of worked like clockwork. They were always improving the business. It just kept going. And it was so easy to you made up the rates for the year and you stuck to them, and people paid them and people were happy. The reason people come to the Welbeck isn't because we're new and we're modern. It's because of the hospitality that we provide, and that's how we're still here.
And Mum and Dad, of course, they're grafters.
Yeah.
Pure grafters. And, they attracted good staff as well. And the presentation of the hotel kind of set itself above, the counterparts, should we say. And, it's got a good reputation, a good atmosphere, good food, good fun, innovation. And, it's not the easiest of times at the moment, is it?
No, I've had to diversify quite a lot into boozy brunches and afternoon teas, and trying to get us back on the map has been quite a struggle. A challenge, shall we say, but it's been positive, and I've kept going, and it's just drawn more kind of attention to us. And yeah, it. Although it's been challenging, it's been rewarding as well, because people really do see how much you care, and it comes across to them, and they see it and they enjoy it. They really appreciate it.
And of course, people come to the Isle of Man and they come to your hotel on holiday, and they want a good time, don't they?
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. That's the beauty of tourism. That the customers are a joy to be with.
Absolutely.
And when they're here, they do enjoy the offering, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and they do really appreciate it in ways sometimes locals don't. They see it through different eyes to us, and people say things to me like all the time, and I go, oh yeah, I suppose you're right. The beaches and the rolling hills, they don't have to spend an absolute fortune with the kids in activities, but also they're on a beach, which,
and they like to say there's no graffiti. A lot of these people will travel and do city breaks, and if you do go to some of these places abroad, there's litter all over the show and what have you, and we've got such a good aspect and a very friendly, welcoming bunch of people who are in the trade.
Absolutely. So people comment all the time on how clean it is, how welcoming people are, just how people get lifts from people, and when they don't expect it, when a bus doesn't turn up, which is more often than not at the moment.
I'm hopeful that we'll get around that.
No, I hope so.
And if our government, if they can just focus on scheduled services,
yes,
providing scheduled services, forget all the other stuff, leave that to private enterprise, and then you win, because those like go-karts are fantastic, aren't they?
Absolutely.
And it gives the freedom of the island really for not a great deal of money. So it is a super offer that, hopefully they can share that message far and wide. So let me see, we'll just talk a little bit about the tourism levy, and I'm guessing I'm understanding that you have to deal with inquiries and send out quotes and grab all the bookings you can.
absolutely. And I look at our rates all the time. As I said before, you used to be able to put out your rates for the year and that's it, and people just used to pay them, and not anymore. But now we're seeing a lot more. Oh, well, I've got to pay this much on travel. So is there anything you can do? Is there any deals you can do? And you're constantly making it up as you go along, to be honest, half the time, because it's a difficult. Everyone's facing a cost of living crisis, and so I'm giving quotes out, and it's going to be very awkward when they question why we're
indeed. And
taxing
what
them.
we don't want to do is get involved in a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
Because we need to be able to put money aside, because a building like this needs a heck of a lot of maintenance, doesn't it?
Hundreds of thousands. Hundreds of thousands.
And I don't think people who are outside of the business and outside of the trade, who perhaps make decisions, just don't get it. It could be that if you don't have a background in tourism or money management, in the retail or service sector or hospitality, then it kind of stands out that we're on the coalface.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had the same conversation with my dad where previously, before I really came into the business properly, he said, Lucy, we don't just have money to throw at whatever we want to do. It's got to be prioritised. It's got to go to the right places at the right time. And sometimes all those bills come in at once and we just have to deal with it. So,
for instance, say, if there was a few extra pounds that had to be put on the room rate per person, so, some of the figures that have been bandied about, it could be an extra £10 a night or an extra £5 a night. It's those little increments that make the difference.
Yeah, people say, oh, it's only a little bit here and there, but that adds up. If you're doing that per night, per person as well, we kind of give kids go free and things like that, but then it can't really be kids go free because we're adding a tax to them.
And who's going to do the administration?
Well,
it's going to be you, isn't it?
Yeah. And I just don't have time
it's
for
another
that.
thing. we run off our feet as it is. So I was a little bit, sketchy about the paperwork that we had a look through, and how there were comparisons made with Rome, Berlin, and Paris, and Amsterdam, and these are entirely different offerings, aren't they? And I don't see, that it's anything other than apples and oranges, really. For the Isle of Man, we need to focus on getting people here.
Yeah.
That is it. We own the boat. It's got 900 seats, and taking some very simple measures to get high-spending tourists.
Yeah, well, we've got to show them what they're missing first. We've got to invite them here, show them everything that there is to offer, which the Isle of Man does have a lot to offer, but we need to supersize that. We need to make sure that we're looking after those things and we're improving on those things. And I feel like it's just stopped. We used to have a lot more attractions than we do now, and it doesn't seem to be at their centre of attention to kind of improve anything, apart from maybe a pathway.
I think when you look at the branding, so say, I don't know, you say if you go on the Visit Isle of Man site, okay, and it's got that, the video, and it's not really reaching out to, say, big groups of people, say in the northwest of England, who would be keen to come on a fun weekend and drink lots of beer and party.
No.
Okay, and we've got the boat there that's got all those vacant seats.
Yeah.
Day in, day out. Could we do something just to, reduce that fare, bring them over, offer them a beer token or two?
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that just gets overlooked. You don't see it anywhere, that we brew our own beer, and it's very, very good. I mean, I know, I've studied it for years.
Yeah.
And it's something that is wonderful in our pubs, and the freedom that you've got, and the fact that it's all nice and safe.
Yeah.
And all the different products. And I just wish we'd, really glorify that
Yeah.
So I'd like to say you get the groups here, the darts festival, the football teams, and those punters are great, aren't they?
They are fantastic, and they spend in the economy. And if we got 10, 100 times that, fantastic. But we're not really, unless there's a big event on that's like UK and otherwise, it's not really given the attention. We don't get the reach, and I wish we did.
We haven't got that identity anymore. No. And I know things have changed because, this promenade was very busy with a nighttime economy. But I think, we need to recreate that. And also the spin-off is we need to attract and keep young people on our island, as well as, give them affordable housing.
Yeah.
But if we had a recreation zone or in certain parts of Douglas that were, that's enjoyable and fun and concerts and all that stuff, and it would bring people over. I mean, for instance, there was a band over last week that played at the Gaiety, and they have like a fan base that come over and watch them, and so it's just nice.
It's like the football, isn't it?
Oh, FC
football,
Isle of Man, what a story.
I know they bring people from all over. Bury FC, prominent in that, and that's fantastic. But there doesn't seem to be much of a play on it.
No.
They need to. It's like the Bee Gees, like you said before.
Oh, don't talk to me about the Bee Gees. I mean,
this year,
it is Sir Barry Gibbs' 80th birthday on the 1st of September.
Yeah.
And when I got my list of things to do through the door from the government, I looked down this. It's like a spreadsheet with pictures on that have been changed now and again, and I thought, oh, they must have something for the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to celebrate the Bee Gees. Not even, like a Bee Gees day or a weekend or anything like that. And yet, when you go around the world, or if you could travel in Europe or anything like that, and you're in the cab, in the taxi in Spain, wherever you are, every few minutes there's a Bee Gees song on.
Yeah.
And again, it's just kind of ignored, and something like that brand would be such fun, wouldn't it?
And people argue with you as well. My brother had an argument in Australia about where the Bee Gees were from, and why aren't we screaming that they're from here? That would bring so many people here.
Well,
just in itself.
The statue was one of the smartest moves
ever.
But there's it's like Columbo. There's just one thing.
Yeah.
Why everyone takes a photograph of the statue?
Yeah.
From the front, and yet behind, if we just had a sign that said Isle of Man.
Yeah. Where is it?
So
where is this?
This photograph will be zapped all around the world.
Yeah.
And if we just had Isle of Man in the background, then it just gives that little hook.
Yeah.
And might just make someone, put it in the search engine and spend some time here. I mean, I tell you the other one where we miss out, and that is where we need a TV show here. So the likes of, say, Shetland or Jersey had Bergerac, and when you look at the figures, their visitor numbers went through the roof on the back of that.
We've had things filmed here, but we don't seem, again, to shout about it. We don't have... The government aren't really pushing for that public knowledge. And I think that if they went, oh, hey, look, this was filmed here, and why don't you all come and enjoy it? It's just all done.
I know it has been
half-assed.
suggested in the past where even if you had like film tours of the Isle of Man, and you'd go to certain locations, and you had like a QR code that would link you to the page, and you could go and find these things like a treasure hunt. So, but interestingly enough, I've got a booking this year for some people retracing Waking Ned. So it still lives, the film still lives. But I think if we could somehow be smart and attract a series that's made here, so you'd get some benefits from that.
We've got the TT film, haven't we, coming?
We have. And there's another one in that the TT has got such a fantastic reach. So when you go on YouTube, and you'll see that, Connor Cummins' Crash has had 100 million views. I mean, God, imagine if he just had a penny per view on that one.
Yeah.
But there's so much material out there, but there's nothing that really links it up to come and visit us.
No, we did have the visitor video, didn't we, with what do you call it? John McGuinness, yeah.
Yes.
And that was fantastic, but again, like they need to improve on
it's
that.
It's another layer. It was it was a message that went far and wide, and bringing the motorcycle enthusiasts here, because they do come. They do come. I mean, the TT tours that we do with Duke, and you go around the TT circuit and go to the Motor Museum, and the Motor Museum, I'm not kidding you, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Derby, what they've done there, that is a pure.
But how to get there?
Well, there are some minibus providers that do provide the service, but I actually have an ex-TT rider called Roger Hurst,
right?
And he does the circuit, and I'm not joking. I get postcards from America saying how good he is and what a great job.
That's fantastic.
So it's that fun, angle that it's nice to bring to the table, as it were.
But it'd be nice to also have what's outside of TT, because there are things that we could focus on. We've got Vikings, folklore. We've got so much that we could build on that isn't.
Oh, I know. I mean, the TT itself. I mean, heaven knows why we haven't got £1 million a year off Honda.
Yeah.
Just to call it the Honda TT circuit.
Yeah.
Everything else is sponsored. Any stadiums and things like that around the UK, and I've often kind of mused on that one, really.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, the folklore, the Viking heritage, people
come for ancestry, don't they?
They do, but they kind of come here anyway.
Yeah.
I think I don't. They look in the genealogy, and people come here for a lot of reasons, and they do spend the money. But we're in such what can I say, a scrape at the moment, that we need to get larger numbers of people who spend the cash. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'll ask you, say for instance, they've had a big focus on cycling now for 6 years. Do you get many coming in the hotel?
Not as many as I'd like. We've got space for bikes as well. We do get a few, but not. I mean, considering we're in a great place for that, and
it's not an exciting bunch of tourists. And the thing is, you can go cycling anywhere, and it's free. That's the problem. That's the problem. So, I mean, the likes of our walking offering is fantastic.
Yeah,
the coastal path, but
they probably won't be big drinkers or big spenders.
No, they're
like
not.
Say.
They're not.
Yeah.
They'll buy a bag of nuts or something, won't they? But they do like to eat well, and I do like the walkers, and we've got the offering, because the coastal path is something else, and really, such as that news item about it being overgrown and unkempt, and really that's one of the basics.
Yeah.
That's one of the basics.
Absolutely.
You've got to do that 105 miles, have it waypointed.
Yeah.
You do the walk, you get a T-shirt or a mug or something like that. Just make it an achievement. I'd love to see that. And of course, my pet love is the golfers.
Yeah.
And we've got 8 golf courses, and we've got jurisdictions, Northern Ireland, Scotland, places abroad that thrive on the golf course industry, where it's all laid out already, and the golfers are the biggest spenders on beer and food, and quite often they've got a bit of cash in their pocket, and everyone wins. The golf club wins, the hotel wins, the pub wins. It's great, and the transport providers, when they come on the boat, it is the most obvious thing to do would be to give that a boost. But unfortunately, it's not. What can I say? In the right orbit.
Yes, exactly. And to push that would be fantastic, because it's not just that you're pushing, it's their families, it's their friends. Oh, I've been to the Isle of Man, what's the Isle of Man like?
Yeah, they have a day at Peel.
It was fantastic.
They have a day at Peel, great course, and then they'll have a wander down into the town, and they're out in the by the creek and all that, and, flanked by a medieval castle. You can't beat that in the sunshine, can you? You can't beat that. But
definitely not in the sunshine.
There has to be ways to, get the message and get people over. I mean, I was lucky. I went to one of the road shows, and I had to sit down with Tim Johnston, who's the Minister for Enterprise.
Yeah.
And I said to him, look, we've got this amazing new sea terminal in Liverpool. I mean, I've not been. Have you been yet?
Yeah, I've been. Yeah.
I mean, I've not seen it yet. I've only heard about it. I've not been through Liverpool, but it's very close to the Everton football ground, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Now, wouldn't it be great if there was some huge electronic billboard that let these 52,000 people know who are in the ground celebrating Merseyside's biggest football club, and if they became aware of the Isle of Man ferry being, just down the road.
Be great if it was signposted there.
Imagine that. Say you could have offers and just tie it up with an Everton theme. Maybe have some Everton legends here. Even if you just did it, say 1 weekend.
Absolutely.
Something at the bowl, and I put that on a platter.
Yeah.
On a platter, really, for Mr. Johnson to digest.
Yeah, I mean, Claire McColgan, who's the director of culture in Liverpool City Council, she was there at the Industry Day last week at the Villa Marina.
Did you go?
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed it actually. It was very interesting, and some of the small businesses stories very inspiring. But yeah, she was there and she gave a talk, and she said we need to hook up and do more together. And I was like, fantastic. If someone like that can help us push our island, then brilliant.
I went to that presentation 2 years ago where they said that.
Yeah.
I think it was at the museum, wasn't it? It wasn't last year before. I couldn't make that because when you have something on a Monday, for me, Monday is a day from hell at the desk, because that's when you get all your inquiries to deal with over the weekend. So, I just wish maybe the live stream.
That would be fantastic.
Then we could catch up on with it later. But, we'll get that. I mean, the visit agency, great staff, great people. We've got an army of 31 workers.
Yeah.
Haven't we? 31, and you think that must pack a lot of power, really.
Yeah, absolutely. There must be some fantastic ideas there. And with help from us, and we're always willing to give our 2 pence. But with all that support from us and them, then surely the island should be booming and being able to.
I don't think, when you've got the keys to the sweet shop like they have, so you've got a line into boat fares, say, and other incentives. I think we could do really well, and I'm always mindful that when they set the tourism strategy years ago, because I was on the visit agency then, and I remember looking. We did these Teams meetings, and we'll say the consultants who kind of guided the strategy, they're all in their 60s and maybe 70s, and I thought they're all a bit too old for this, so they're only going to be recommending things for old dudes.
Hopefully with the younger generation moving in now, and that there are quite a few my age that are full of inspiration and hope.
And if they've got the freedom to be creative,
absolutely,
that's
that can only be a good thing.
And I mean, I'm a bit of an old duffer myself, but I kind of know the trade, as it were, and the potential, and some things we could do by not really spending a great deal of cash.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having like a TT television station or a YouTube channel.
That'd be amazing.
Regular, which people would watch, and then it would drag in a lot of viewing. Yeah. Wouldn't it? Because
and builds up the excitement for TT, but also maybe dragging that audience that might not come for TT because they don't like the hustle and bustle, but they want to come for. They see from the TT videos what there is to offer, like the beautiful scenery, and want to come.
I'm not too familiar with Channing Tatum. Okay.
Right.
I guess you are.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But I understand he's got quite a fan base, hasn't he?
Oh yes, yeah.
So surely there's an immediate link up there, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Immediate, that we really should be harvesting as much as we can.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's going to be I'm sure all the ladies and gentlemen probably as well be following him around when he comes.
Well, that's a great advert, and it links into what we were talking about before.
Yeah.
But the likes of, say, Shetland, had some detective series, and that really energized, their economy. And maybe there's someone out there who could write a script, maybe, or just portray life on the Isle of Man anyway, because it's.
Well, that's what it's great that there's some influencers from the islands that are spreading it far and wide. I mean, Frank Schnugel.
Yes,
he's done a lot of work for the Isle of Man.
Frank's a German. His videos have brought people to the Isle of Man.
Yeah, they have.
I've met 2 people who've seen those. And then you've got Joe Locke, haven't you? You've got Mark Cavendish, you've got Samantha Barks, and more. And really, if we could just give them a prod the right way, who knows? Yeah,
absolutely. And they could, if the government and the visit agency locked in with them, which I think they sometimes do try and, I mean, with Mark Cavendish as well, there was a big video on him. But if we could just do a bit more work on that, that would be fantastic. Well, and other idols.
Well, we're all in this together, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because we're up against it economically. And with the latest events in the Middle East, cost of living is to go even higher. And that tourism, Manx pound, is worth its weight in gold, isn't it? Really,
absolutely.
And really, we're not going to be able to, build a factory to sell things that will, make money, or new financial products and things. That's not our place.
Well, we've had it and we lost. Well, it's gone really, hasn't it?
There's a bit of strain at the moment.
So we can just look towards the future and see what else we can do. And
22 million
just so many
people go to Dubai every year.
Yeah.
So if we can pick up like 0.01%, that'll do. We're made. So come on, let's all pull together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And really, just capture.
Because you were saying about the spreadsheet type events calendar, and what I did was actually I chopped it up, and I've put it on our blog, on our website, and I've put it into months instead, because I'm like you, found it very overwhelming, and I just thought, underwhelming, I'm not sure which one. But it to look at, it just all blends into one for me. So I chopped it all up, and so our visitors, when they actually receive a confirmation from us, they've got a link to that blog and they can see what's going on, and they can also go, oh, well, I'd quite like to come and see that in a different one. So it might trigger 2 visits or more.
People love festivals and things, don't they? And I think it goes back to a better online presence. I think that TV, video will work gloriously. So anyway, I can see you're busy. There's more guests coming in. So that was great to have a chat there, Lucy. And keep battling away. We respect people who speak out.
I've never been one to shut up.
and really, there's a lot to speak out about.
Yeah.
And really just continue being passionate, because it's people like you drive the business forward and stimulate new ideas and people who are going to come to the Welbeck Hotel.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely to speak to you.